Almost all Kia Venga owners indicate problems with the suspension. Firstly, they unanimously pay attention to the rigid suspension, which was designed for European highways, and in Russian road conditions significantly reduces the level of comfort. Secondly, shock absorbers, both front and rear, quickly become unusable, so when purchasing a Kia Venga, you need to be prepared to replace them every 30 to 45,000 kilometers mileage, especially if we are talking about a used car. How can you tell if your shock absorbers are good? If, when pressing on the hood, the car swings once, then they are in good condition, but if they continue to rock, the components need to be replaced. Various problems periodically occur in the steering mechanism: failure of the steering cardan, glitches in the operation of the electric power steering. In addition, the ESP system sometimes loses the center position of the steering wheel, problems in the electronics, but ultimately does not turn the steering wheel. This failure can be treated by reflashing it at an official dealer. The Kia Venga is equipped with a fairly strong engine, 1.4, 1.6 manual transmission or 1.6 automatic transmission, which, however, periodically has problems. It can behave quite unpredictably. Some owners of this car indicate problems with the gas pedal, which can only work synchronously at a quarter of the stroke. When operating a car, this is quite dangerous, for example, if the car does not respond properly to pressing the gas pedal when overtaking. Sensors may malfunction. Problems of this kind are quite common. In addition, many drivers who have dealt with the Kia Venga pay attention to the possibility of resetting all onboard computer readings. The standard radio included with the car also often glitches, refusing to play files from a flash drive. Advice: to avoid troubles, test the car before purchasing, which will help identify potential problems. Most car enthusiasts have complaints about the Kia Venga interior. Despite the fact that it is quite spacious, and the seats are soft and comfortable, car owners are dissatisfied with the interior trim. Cheap plastic produces an unpleasant squeak, which can be annoying during a trip. This is especially evident in the area where the front panel meets the glass, as well as in the area of the seat belt mechanism. In order to solve the problem, additional surface sizing is required. The driver's seat does not lower, making it not very comfortable for tall drivers. The cabin is very noisy, especially when driving on rough roads. There is practically no insulation from extraneous sounds. The main disadvantage of the body is the extremely inconvenient design of the rack. We are talking about the left front pillar. It partially blocks the driver's view, and this can cause an emergency. You constantly have to lean forward so as not to miss a pedestrian entering the roadway or a traffic light. For a car like the Kia Venga, a higher power battery would be preferable. Another significant disadvantage is that it is not removable. Thus, to bring a dead battery back to life, you need to use a battery charger. The lack of lighting in the glove compartment, on the control buttons on the doors and problems with its brightness on the dashboard are also a minus, although not so significant. Motorists note that this looks like inappropriate savings and creates some discomfort in the basic model. The air conditioning in the Kia Venga does not work efficiently enough. There are many complaints about its functioning. If the interior is very hot in the sun, it takes a long time to cool down. There is no ambient temperature indicator. The tank volume in the Kia Venga is 48 liters. Car owners unanimously indicate that this car loves to eat. Fuel consumption in the city averages from 7 to 10 liters, which, in general, is not surprising, based on the engine size and weight of the car. In addition, the Kia Venga is very picky in terms of fuel quality. Its technical specifications indicate that the car can be filled with 92-grade gasoline, but in practice it will be much better to use 95-grade gasoline. It is important that the fuel is of high quality, otherwise the car may begin to act up. Despite the fact that there are certain shortcomings in the design of the Kia Venga, and many forums warn about childhood diseases of this car, it is very popular among Russian motorists. In all likelihood, they are satisfied with the price-quality ratio of this model, its relative ease of maintenance, compact size, but at the same time sufficient interior and trunk space. Quite low operating costs add to the Kia Venga's attractiveness. It is very important to promptly change the necessary components, monitor the condition of the engine and suspension, and use high-quality fuel for refueling.